What's up, guys? Scrub King here, and it is January 2020. That means the ban list is right around the corner. I think it's like no sooner than January 13th or something like that. That means Konami's gonna try to shake it up a little bit. I mean, the format's a little stale. I'm not gonna lie. You know, Orcus is killing it. I think they might do some things here and there. Of course, with the new Master Rule coming out in April, or the Master Rule 2020 revision, whatever you want to call it. It's going to shake up the whole game, essentially. So they might do some stuff in this one. I think they'll do more in April than anything. But of course, talk about the elephant in the room. We got Galatea and her little equipment, instruments, whatever you want to call them, friends here. Horror, Nightmare. So what is Konami going to do with Orcus? So just real quick. Orcus is such a cool deck. Just like all of the revisions that this deck has gone through is pretty insane. Like, think about it. It went through the Bardiche shenanigans with, the rank up magic, going into Azathoth on your opponent's turn. Just crazy stuff. The mermaid stuff, all the little weird decks that were built. Fluffle, Orcus at one point. And then now, putting Sky Strikers in Orcus. Like, the deck is just so flexible and versatile. It's just amazing. And I think Konami kind of likes Orcus. It's kind of like that BA/Draco effect where they enjoy seeing Orcus played. So I actually don't see them hitting any of these three cards. I know that's some people might hate it. I'm not really an Orcus player, but I do respect the deck. I don't see them hitting Nightmare at all. I think putting Galatea 1 would be interesting, but yeah. And if they hit hard, that's going to be a pretty interesting hit. If they put hard 1. That would blow the deck. And I don't think Konami's too worried about Orcus in the long term. So I don't think they're going to hit any of these three cards. The card that they definitely should hit is Babel. So this card is the broken card. Like, Konami usually doesn't like you playing on your opponent's turn. Like, they hate like FTKs and you automatically winning and not letting your opponent do anything. They usually don't really enjoy that for their game. And Babel basically does that. So, it's your opponent turn, draw phase, and you go off on another combo. Yeah, that doesn't really make the game that enjoyable. And Babel's the issue here. So people are saying, they might limit Galatea, but the issue with Galatea is the card that searches is Babel. So let's go ahead and just ban Babel. I actually think Konami will do that. So you got to ban Babel. Banning Babel will just make Orcus a really good deck, but just not an overpowered, crazy deck that you can play on your opponent's turn. So be more beatable in that way. So Crescendo becomes a card. Still really good, but it becomes more like a solid type of deck than anything. So that's my prediction on Orcus, that Babel will be the only card touched, and it will be banned, and they will leave the rest of the Orcus cards alone. Bold prediction, even though everyone's calling for horror being limited or banned or whatnot. I don't think that's the right move, because then you just kill the whole deck, and what's the whole point of making a deck then? And talk about the other half of the new Orcus builds with Sky Striker. Let's talk about our little friend here, Engage. So Engage has been crazy. I mean, we all hear the stories, Engage, into Engage, into Engage. All the pluses you get out of that. But pure Sky Striker is not the issue. It's an amazing deck, don't get me wrong. They can play Derek only B1 and kills a lot of the meta decks, even Orcus, Solid Thunder. But Engage is not really the issue at the moment, and I just don't see Konami killing Engage. You kill Engage, like you ban Engage, Sky Striker is no longer a deck, period. No hands. I mean, definitely I can see them semi-limiting Engage. That can be extremely feasible, and I won't kill the deck. It'll just bring it 2. But the card you absolutely have to hit is Hornet Drones. Like, there's no way around it. It's just similar to Babel. What makes Sky Striker little engines and problems is this card, ultimately. The only way Orcus decks can play Sky Striker is because of Hornet Drones. The only way, like, other random decks, like a Mech Knight deck or whatever, plays Sky Striker cards because of the drones. Like, drones, they limited it. It was cute. It's a problem. So I definitely see them finally banning drones. Much deserved. And then, semi-limiting Engage at most. But ultimately, I don't think they'll touch Engage. What I think they'll hit is drones, and then they'll probably limit Ray, to be honest with you. And it won't destroy the deck. It will just make it extremely difficult to play. So hitting drones and limiting Ray, because you got to think about it. So Konami came out with the new Rose or Rose Sky Striker monster, and they gotta kind of sell it. They gotta make striker players use that monster. So if you limit Ray and you take out drones, you gotta play Rose. So it's just a way for you to form the deck differently and play. So that's kind of why I see Konami doing. Definitely banning drones, not really touching engage, and like maybe limiting Ray or doing like a semi-limit on Ray or something. They gotta make you play Rose, that new monster, one way or another. So that's how I see Konami doing it. So that's my story on Striker. A card that kind of destroys Orcust. My friend here, Abyss Dweller. This card is insane, of course, basically a floodgate. And I 100% see Dweller getting banned. Hopefully not, because I love this card. But I can definitely see this card getting banned. Maybe not this ban list, but very close in the future, this card will be banned. This card is a problem in long term for the game. It's never great seeing a monster that's just easy, rank 4, generic, just shutting down decks. And overall, I mean, many decks can use it. Even Orcust can play itself in a mirror match. But this card is just crazy, and I can definitely see them banning this card. So don't be surprised if you see this card banned, and you're like, wait, how did that happen? Where'd that go? All right, so you guys know I love Salad Man Greats. I definitely see Konami semi-limiting Sunlight Wolf. This is something I was talking about with a couple of my boys. If you semi-limit Sunlight Wolf, it doesn't kill the deck, but it makes it so you have to really use your resources very wisely. And it only brings out like the best in a player. So I actually don't see an issue with Sunlight Wolf. It would just make it extremely difficult you have to really play the deck correctly on that point, play some weird stuff. So I can see Konami, if they just want to give it like a little love tap to Salamander Great, semi-limiting Wolf, and then doing something with Flame Buffalo Arrow. This card is amazing. Konami, if they're paying attention to Salad players, they know that this card is the starter of all starters. So if you want to give like a little slap on the wrist, so to speak, like you did with Lady Debug, you do something with this one, maybe limiting Flame Buffalo Arrow, which will make playing Salad that much more difficult, because it's already pretty, it can be pretty inconsistent with one Circle and one Gazelle, so it could be a challenge a little bit. So that's why I see the story going with Salad Man Great. She's doing some semi-limiting on the Wolf, and then Buffalo getting touched a little bit. Now, the Thunder Boys. Hands down, Klaus is going to 1. Like, have you guys seen those videos of the new Master Revision of Thunder Dragon? Thunder Dragon is going to be so broken that they have to put this card to 1. Like, have to. And then, I must admit, I don't really know much about Thunder Dragons. I never played the deck. Well, I kind of do, but not really. But they gotta limit one of these cards. So whichever one's the better one. I think they'll limit Dark, just because it's discarding on your opponent's turn and having it in the graveyard and then banishing and getting a plus off that. I think that's pretty good. But this card is also really good. So one way or another. I know the OCG, I think they have Hawk limited, so they could go that route. But TCG doesn't usually try to copy OCG. If you think about it, they don't really mimic the same things. There's some things like, OCG banned Mermaid, TCG banned Mermaid, and Bardiation and whatnot. So they went those routes for big ones. But I think they're going to limit like Dark and definitely limit Colossus. Like Colossus is going to go to 1. If they ban Colossus, then the deck's done. But Colossus is going to 1. So there's no way around it. Now I want to talk about my little friends, my little Lunalight friends here. So they're obviously not going to touch Lunalight, obviously. And I can't find my actual Azathoth, but these cards are basically Azathoth Turbo. And it's just disgusting. So I think it's time that Konami just finally bans Azathoth. I know we went around it a couple of months ago when we hit the rank of Magic with the whole Time Thief Redoer shenanigans. Instead of banning Azathoth, they banned the spell card. I think it's time, Konami, that you actually just ban Azathoth. It's going to be a problem long term. Like, it's one of those cards where it limits you from designing new cards. It's just a terrible card. Like, your opponent can't Nibiru. You have cards like Nibiru that don't do anything against Lunalight because of Azathoth. Like, those type of things are just crazy. Like, at least like Appaloosa, you have to commit 4 monsters at least if you just get to 4, and then have the 5th summon be Appaloosa, and that's a little bit more fair. You put all your resources into that one monster, but ultimately, Azathoth is just a card that's not good for the game, and I 100% see them banning that. Definitely, maybe not this ban list, but definitely a very soon ban list. They're gonna ban Azathoth. There's no way around it. You play the game so much. You played that Firewall game too long, Konami. It's time to ban Azathoth. All right, so some other random cards. Pendulums is not gonna get touched in the ban list, so Pendulum players are safe. The new Master Rule doesn't really help out Pendulums, but they're gonna get support with the new Magician card. But I think Pendulums are actually like in a tough spot. Like Konami obviously is not the biggest fan of Pendulums. That's why they make Link monsters to try to limit down Pendulums. But yeah, no, it's not gonna be touched. Like some people I heard, that's why I put out the Servant here, because some people are saying, oh, they're gonna put Servant in 1. I don't think so. I mean, you put Servant in 1, it's it's gonna be a tougher road for Pendulums for the short term. But I don't think they're gonna hit it. So I think Pendulums are safe. Diagrams are safe as well. So Draco and then True King Shenanigans, I think you guys are fine. I know the OCG, does it have it at 1 or banned? I'm not sure. But I know they don't have it at 3. So the TCG, I think, is just going to keep it at 3. I think Draco's fine right now. This is the card that I 100% think should be banned. Is this me being salty? Maybe. But VFD, Calamities, this card is so broken. Like, especially with all the support, the new support that the Dino cards are getting with the that Jewel Beast guy that searches the pill. Like, Dino's just gonna be so crazy. Like, you need to touch Calamities. You either limit him or you ban him. I mean, if you limit him, like, okay, they can have 1, and maybe it makes it so that they can't really play Extravagance in their main deck. But you got to do something about Calamities, Konami, because this card is just disgusting. That's kind of more of a wish list. I don't know if Konami's gonna ban it. It's very tough to predict that, but if they do, I called it. And then cards, so it's also like super impossible to call like cards coming off the ban list because Konami crazy. But Maxi Man, bring him back with the new Master Rule coming out. Bring back Maxi Man. Make it a little bit more fair. You put him to 1. I'll take 1 as a control player. I'll take 1 Maxi any day. Bring him to 3. That'd be awesome. But I see Maxi coming back. And I think it's going to catch some people out by surprise. This card is probably going to shoot up in price. I got this card for like 10 cents. But Maxi is going to come back. I'll call it right now. And Tempest came back a couple ban lists ago. Maybe it was last ban list. I don't remember. So long ago. I definitely see one of the other Dragon Rulers come back. They're slowly but surely going to bring back the Dragon Rulers. They definitely won't bring back the water one. I'll tell you that, with that new deep sea archetype coming out. It's just water cards are just so broken. Like they don't need the water Dragon Ruler right now. Maybe like the earth one they'll bring back just to like test it out and see how things go. But we got Tempest, and we'll probably get the earth one back. So you look out to see another Dragon Ruler come out of the ban list and go to 1. I wouldn't be surprised by that. And my big one, Unicorn, Konami. This card can be back to 2 at least. Like at least semi-limit this. Right now we have it at 1. And it really hinders because you can't really use the hand effect because it's your only Unicorn. And it's amazing on field obviously, but sometimes you miss that hand effect in Necros. Konami, put this card at 2. Like, relax. Necros are not going to blow up the format. Especially in the new Master Rule. If we're going to have all these Exceed monsters, special summoning, and all these new synchros and whatnot. Give us some more unicorns to say, hey, your effect's negated. So that's kind of like what I really got. Overall, I definitely think the balance won't be too crazy. I wish it would be just to change things up, but I don't think it's gonna be too crazy. Like I said, they're gonna freaking ban Babel most likely and ban Hornet Drones. These are like the only 2 cards I actually think Konami will ban. if I'm being honest. Maybe they'll ban the Dweller. That'll be interesting, and maybe the Calamities. But these 2 cards are 100%. I think they're gonna be banned. It's like there's nothing Konami can do about it. They're like, all right, we've played around enough. We'll see what happens. I think maybe Azathoth would be banned. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But all right, guys, so that's my little 10-second talk on the ban list coming up. So hopefully this gets posted up before the ban list comes out, and we'll see how I do. I'll probably do like a reaction video to it on the ban list and seeing how close I was or not. But we'll see. But I want to hear what you guys are thinking. To be honest, I'd love to hear what the other players are thinking in terms of what needs to be banned, what's healthy in the game, what cards to look out for, what's gonna come off the ban list. That's the hardest one to predict. Is like what's gonna come off the ban list, because Konami's just so crazy. They'll be coming up with the most random stuff. And then of course I'm looking forward to the new Ignition Assault booster pack coming out at the end of January. Looking out for those Adignisters. That's gonna be crazy. And seeing how that shakes up any of the meta. Probably, yeah, we'll see. But all right, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think of the upcoming ban list, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.